Stopping the run in Madden 18 can be a really tough task. You have some of these really popular plays like the halfback wham at a singleback deuce close. You have the pitch at a singleback tight slots. Some of the inside zone plays, some draws, even some other plays that can be really tough to stop just because how the blocks kind of work out. A lot of the receivers and tight ends run block really well in this game. And once you kind of get past that first level of blocks, you have great running backs like Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, that can kind of make a juke or a spin move and dance their way to the end zone, really making you frustrated. This game has been a lot more difficult to pass in with these 91 zone coverage defensive backs and even linebackers that break on the ball so quickly that you kind of almost can't even pass. Some people just run every single play in this game, and they can do so effectively because they have these run plays and they have these great running backs. But I'm going to show you how to take one formation, one play actually, and stop every single one of these popular run plays just with a few simple adjustments. The motivation here is that if it's already tough to throw the ball, I mean, some people can do it, like really good players can really still throw the ball well, but a lot of people can't. But if you could stop the run, that's even more than winning half the battle there. So if you can stop these runs, force your opponent to be one-dimensional with the pass game, and kind of let your pass rushers loose, then you're going to be winning a lot more games. I'm going to be saying upwards of 75-80% of your games are going to be won just by understanding what your opponent wants to do in the running game and making the necessary adjustments to stop that. So I'm going to go out of 4-3 normal, out of Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm going to do the cover 2 press. So it doesn't really matter which cover 2. You could do cover 2 sink or regular cover 2. I just picked this one because it's the first one in Jags. Actually, I use Carolina Panthers playbook just as good. What I like about the 4-3 normal is that it is, and especially the cover 2 in general, is that you're even across the board. You don't have something like you see here, the cover 3 cloud press, where it's kind of, you have a cloud flat on one side, a curl flat on another. You have kind of this, I like to have a nice symmetrical run fit, especially against these symmetrical formations like singleback deuce close and tight slots that can be flipped. So you're kind of even on both sides and you have the same run defense on both sides. That kind of makes it easier on you. So you're not making so many outlandish adjustments, just smaller ones. And then you also have 3 linebackers on the second level. That gives you a lot of kind of, I'd say, freedom in terms of who you want to user and who you want to put in coverage. But anyway, this is not about coverage. This is more for a later video. We're just going to go with their run fits here. So we're getting to that cover 2 press. We're going to start immediately with the killer, halfback wham. So this is the Falcons playbook, halfback wham. We know exactly what happens here. The center is going to trap that one technique, and then the left guard and the center are going to get to the next level, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it except hope for a block shed. But that's not what we want to do, right? Especially if we don't have an amazing team, or if our teams are equal. Well, if our teams are equal, then it's just which play is better, and in most cases, halfback wham is better than whatever defense you put against it, except in this case. So I'm going to show you this really complex adjustment to stop the halfback wham. You ready for it? Nothing. You do absolutely nothing. You come out with your just 4-3 normal, the stock. You don't run it flipped. So your one technique is on the left side. So the guy that I'm highlighting right here, Jones, he is on the left side. And we'll see how it plays out. No gain, and I get a free hit stick. A lot of times that can be a fumble, and you get possession of the ball. So if you're in this formation, you're going to be begging your opponent to be in halfback wham. If you have someone like, say, the out of position Lawrence Taylor, who with tier 2 chemistry, he can get up to 96 hit power. You could pop that ball out of that running back's hand and get the ball yourself. That's amazing. So let's check out the instant replay here. So You see immediately the tight end motions out and traps that one technique. That works out well. You see the center gets to the next level, blocks that outside linebacker, which you're on, fine. But the angle that this left guard takes is kind of weird, curvy angle. Won't ever be able to get to that middle linebacker in time. And your middle linebacker is going to be free to make that hit every single time. Except there are times where, I don't know if it's a speed rating or something like that, your middle linebacker will get caught up, but it's really rare, guys. And even if they do, you still have these other two linebackers that are going to swarm. So we'll see that again. Let's just see how consistent it is. Yeah, see, sometimes if your linebacker is just stupid, he'll do that, and I don't know why, but that'll happen maybe 1 in 20 times. But most times you're going to get that free hit, which is nice. Now, some things you want to look out for. Normal cover 2, I would suggest putting this middle linebacker in a deep third, making kind of a Tampa 2 look. In this case, I will not do that. The reason why, and if we check out here, there's going to be nobody there to make the play. Your middle linebacker is going to immediately drop backwards and not be there to stop the run. So I will leave him in a mid-read. So what you'll want to do is with your outside linebacker, or if you're using the middle linebacker, which I wouldn't really recommend in a Tampa 2, but if you're using him, I'd be ready for play action. You got to cover that deep area because your safety sure as hell won't. Or if you're the outside linebacker, even if your assignment's the vert hook, you got to keep an eye on any post routes or any streaks from these receivers because they can burn you deep. Though I should say in this formation, really if they're passing, they're going to be doing tight end angle, which really doesn't expose the deep middle that much. So you're usually okay here. Another thing I will watch out for is if they run the halfback wham flipped. So you run into your cover 2, 4-3 normal regular. But if they're running their wham to the left side, you'll see that your middle linebacker won't be able to come free like that. But it's still not a great run. And to be honest, like nobody really flips it for some reason. I don't know why. Everybody runs it to the right side. Some of you wham runners, try if things aren't working out for you, try flipping it. You might get more success. And especially since there's no tell with it. You could just flip the play and you can't see it. But anyway, you'll see here, it's still bad because you have a tight end now on your one technique, and he's no longer trapping with the tackle's motion against him. Now you're kind of one-on-one. And if you have a good tight end there, sorry, not a good tight end. If you have a good defensive tackle there, he's just going to make the block shit and make the play anyway. So ideally, you want to line up with your one technique on the left if you expect the wham to go to the right, and vice versa. But if it doesn't work out, it's still pretty good run D. Right, in this case, yeah, look at that. I mean, Jones isn't the prototypical player you want there. You want, your Damon Harrison or your Mean Joe Greens or whatever. You're going to get that block shade immediately, and you're still going to make the play in the backfield. So when you're in 4-3 normal cover 2, you're going to be almost begging to see this halfback wham. And you know what? If they're running their halfback wham to the left a lot, which again you'll probably never see, well, just flip your cover 2. Middle linebacker's free. He's going to make the tackle. Anyway, so let's start again here. 4-3 normal, cover 2 press. Let's go back to the single back deuce close. This time, let's go to the halfback stretch. So this is what you'll see people kind of run a change up with. It's not the most amazing run, but it's enough of a change up that if you are most people and you're trying to stop the halfback wham by, crashing your D-line in, doing a lot of interior kind of compressions, that halfback stretch will cause you trouble. With the cover 2 out of the 4-3 normal, you have these cornerbacks that are in the run fits. And if you get guys like Dick Lane or Bo Jackson, or even drop a safety down there, you're going to get some high block shit. In this case, Jalen Ramsey's pretty good. So we're going to press our cornerbacks, and we are also going to, we're going to want to user, and this is just in general in stopping the run. You want to user your backside outside linebacker. If you expect the run going to the right, you'll want to user the left outside linebacker, or I guess the right outside linebacker, left on screen linebacker. And if it's going to the right, you want to user this guy. What makes it tough for this formation in particular, you don't really know where the run's going to go because it can be flipped either way. But you're going to just have to kind of use your intuition here. A lot of people say, well, a lot of people kind of have tendencies. They'll always run to the right side, or they'll always run to the left side, or they'll run to the field side, or the boundary side of the field. But anyway, for stretch, it's really just a matter of pressing your cornerbacks. These. But you see, you're just giving your cornerback a chance to make the play there. Press, and just slant your D-line outwards. Take the backside linebacker and just scrape. Your cornerback is going to shed there, and if he doesn't, you have your outside linebacker there to make the play. You see, it's just, they can't do anything about it. If you have a half decent block shedder like Jalen Ramsey, you're going to make the play. And even if you're stuck on the strong outside linebacker, things will still, things will still work in your favor. Because in this case, if you see here, because we crashed our line outwards, what is this, Ngakwe? He has a good angle on that tackle, and he can get in the backfield. He gets in the backfield. Is that Mohamed Sanu? Sorry, guys. He's not going to make he's not going to make the block. Jalen Ramsey's going to come in. Real easy, guys. Simple adjustments. Really simple adjustments. Press your corners. Slant your D-line out. You don't even have to do that, really. Pick your backside linebacker. No chance. There's nothing they can do. So from there, it's really just about stopping a tight end angle, which can be done. Again, this won't be in this video, but maybe a future video. And one of the most popular formations is lockdown with just some simple adjustments. Okay? Great. So let's... See, that time I didn't even do anything. It was okay. All right. Let's move on. So I'm going to go kind of off a bit to the shotgun, and we're going to be doing some inside zone plays. So let's just pick this one, Trio Falcon. You see something similar like this with the tight end just a bit further out, running that levels, and then they'll pair it with inside zone, which can be really tough. This one isn't the one. I think this is it. Trey Y flex. Yeah. So you see this inside zone a lot because you have these. I mean, you have that great levels wide corner play, and then if you do run the inside zone, you have 3 blockers there on the left side that can be really tricky. It can be really tricky, and just the blocks tend to work out well for this. I don't know why. So we'll run it regular. I mean, the computer's just going to take him inside, but usually your opponent's going to try to take it outside and go for a big gain. That corner is going to get blocked by your wide receiver, which actually tends to be pretty good. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's an outside thing versus a tight thing, but anyway. Your Julio Jones, your number 3 receiver here, is going to target the middle linebacker, and Gabriel, the slot, is going to take the outside linebacker there, and it's just going to work out nicely. Leaving the Freeman here, he's going to be one-on-one with the safety. He's going to make a juke or a spin, and he's going to be in the end zone. What we want to do instead, this one you don't really have to baseline, but you can baseline anyway because you want to put your middle linebacker and a deep blue. In this case, you don't even need your middle linebacker like the other ones. What we're going to do is spread your D-line like I did, and you're going to crash them out. And what's going to happen is you're going to have one-on-one matchups with your D-line, with your opponent's tackles and guards, and your opponent's center is going to target the middle linebacker, wherever he is, whatever assignment he's in. He's going to target the mic, leaving you free on the outside linebacker to shoot what I like to call the gates of hell, and hit the running back in the backfield for a loss. And this is consistent, guys. Huge opening, and you're going to hit that running back. But what I would watch out for here is that if you're going for a hit stick, guys, there is a possibility of missing it. I mean, the CPU is not really great here, but a lot of your opponents can cut that quick outside, cut it backside, or do a juke move or spin move. You're gonna be left there in the dirt. So I would honestly, unless you're desperate or the running back you sense is fatigued, I'd just go for a secure tackle. Because I mean, even if you land that hit stick, it's not likely that the ball is going to come out, to be honest. It just doesn't work out for whatever reason in this game. See how consistent that is? Anyway, I'll show you a couple other formations, and we'll move on from that. So again, 4-3 normal, guys. There's no reason, if you want to stop the inside zone, if you want to stop halfback wham, there's no reason to go to any other formation. Let's go to doubles Y flex, inside zone. You can even take the strong linebacker here, and I believe this works out still. Yeah, it's a bit trickier, but he's still going to get through there. Again, you're making space. Center is going to target your mic, leaving you free, Miles Jack, to make a big hit. Really simple, guys. Again, inside zone is going to be completely locked up. Your opponent's going to have absolutely nothing to do about it. The only thing that you can do is play action. So your job is to take this into practice mode, do at least 20 reps, and start to understand the difference between the handoff animation and the play action animation. Okay? So let's go back to tray Y flex, PA crossers. Oh, play action, I sense play action. Go back. I mean, in this case, Jalen Ramsey's amazing. And Miles Jack is just super fast. Or any of your user linebackers, even if you take somebody slow, just the way the user mechanics work in this game is kind of bizarre. You can let it play out here. Bite on the play action a bit, and you can still make it back in time to cover that deep hole, which is just insane. Or if you're really aggressive, things work out for you, you can just totally commit to the play action. You see play action, that time I actually got blocked, which is kind of strange. And if you can kind of round that halfback, you can get that sack. You're free in there, but it's tough. It's actually kind of tough. But if you want to spend some time in the practice mode, guys, go ahead. Try to run that linebacker, or try to run that. I keep calling the halfback linebacker. Try to round him, but it's tough. If you have a good power move or finesse move, you might be able to do it. And you'd be almost, again, you'd be begging for either inside zone or play action. It's going to be completely locked down. So that's that. Halfback wham, nothing your opponent can do. The stretch at a single back Deuce close, nothing your opponent can do. Any inside zone at a shotgun, nothing your opponent can do. There's just nothing you can do. So we'll round it out then for this video. Again, guys, if there are any other run plays that are bothering you, that are troubling you, put it in the comments. We'll see kind of some of the more popular ones, and we will, I don't have it in this formation. We'll have to jump out of here, but we'll compile those and we'll try to make another video down the road. It's my first video on YouTube. We've been playing Madden for a while here. I've always kind of done my own thing in terms of scheme, technique. But I think it's finally time for me to kind of give back to you guys. Who has it? Saints? Yeah, Saints. With some of my kind of unique takes on the game. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos in the coming days, coming weeks, coming months about some really useful stuff that you could take to your game and become a better Madden player. For this, I think, again, first thing you want to focus on is reducing the amount of points that your opponents are putting on you. And step number one is stopping this really strong run game with some of these popular runs, guys. So after this video, take it to the practice field. Don't even have to spend too much time, 20 to 30 minutes, get them down. You're going to take that to the game, and your opponent won't be able to do anything. There are a few other plays, powers, draws that can be effective, but again, this 4-3 normal can lock that up, guys. So let's go 4-3 normal, single back, tight slots. So your opponent will have the pitch on you. That's what they want to run. Sometimes they'll run the dive, which is a change-up. Again, if they're running this dive all game, it's not going to work out for them. It's not a good run. It's only a change-up, just like the stretches for the single back deuce close. If it's only there if you're doing crazy stuff like moving your outside linebackers way across, then it's tough. Huge holes open up. But if you stay even, if you stay 4-3 normal, there's not much they can do here. I mean, like any run, sometimes it'll work out for them. But it's such a slow handoff, and if you're decent at plugging the holes with your linebackers, it's really just about plugging the holes, because if you have good defensive line, which a lot of people do, you're going to get a block shed, or you're going to get a reach tackle, and the halfback's going to get, you know, in this case, I mean, I don't know who this Jones guy is, but he's not very good. Malik Jackson, I don't think his block shed's even really high either. But if you had anybody halfway decent there, they're going to make the block shed, or they're going to make the reach tackle, and they're going to get 1 or 2 yards, if that. But the real issue, of course, is that halfback pitch. So let's get into it. And let's just run it stock. Let's let the computer run it. Blocks work out nicely. I mean, in this case, for whatever reason, the CPU is just so slow they can't do anything. But let's take an instant replay and let's see what the CPU actually wants to do here. Okay, so your wide receivers are going to come in and they're going to take nice angles on the defensive end and that outside linebacker. And they don't even need to be that. They don't even need to be that great at run blocking. They just need to be good enough so that they don't blow out the backfield. And then your guard is going to come, and a lot of times he's actually going to cut that cornerback and completely take him out of the play. And then if your halfback was any faster, he's going to be one-on-one that safety or that middle linebacker, and he's just going to spin them and take it for a nice, easy touchdown. And that's just the stock halfback pitch. Not to mention when they get that backside wide receiver, that backside tight end to get that third blocker in and really make it a numbers game, really make it tough for you. It gets tough. What we're going to do is, just like that halfback stretch, we're going to press our cornerbacks. We are going to spread our defensive line, and we're going to slant them outwards. And we are going to take our backside outside linebacker. It gets so muddy. We didn't even add an extra, we didn't do anything crazy. We didn't get totally uneven. We didn't spread our linebackers or anything like that. Just simple press. You get kind of into like almost like a wide 9 look here, which definitely isn't unreasonable. and you blow up the play. You totally blow up the play. And this is why. Your defensive end is going to take 2 blockers. So Michael Thomas, Brandon Coleman here, they don't know. I mean, they do know. Coleman knows he wants to take the defensive end. Thomas kind of wants to take him for some reason too. And they kind of both go on him. And your right outside linebacker, Telvin Smith, is free to make the tackle for the loss here. So it's simply about taking what your opponent wants to do with their blocking and not letting them do that. Okay, guys? Let's run it one more time. So again, press coverage with our cornerbacks. Really don't allow any time. Get him right up there on the line of scrimmage. Don't let that guard come out and bully him. Spread your defensive line and slant them outwards. What's good about that press coverage from that cornerback is that, actually we'll take that instant replay. He gets blown up by that guard much closer to where that halfback gets the ball, and he gets a roadblock here. So even though the cornerback's out of the play, he's a rock, essentially. The running back's got to go around him, and to go around, you got to go backwards, and that's just definitely not what you want to do. And if you have a speedy enough outside linebacker or a speedy enough defensive end, there's just no chance there. But you don't see that too often. Most of the times what you see is, and let's get a second controller involved here, you get that motion from that backside receiver. But what's good about the motion though is that you know exactly where the run's going to, and you know exactly what they're going to do. So let's run it. Let's let it run one more time. Okay, guys. So let's do our adjustments. Press our corners. Spread our defensive line. Slant them outwards. The pitch in this case is going to the left. So we're going to motion Hill, and we're going to be on the left outside linebacker. What do you think? Totally locked down. The blocks are totally muddied up. Where am I here? And a lot of time you're going to get 2 or 3 or 4 guys free, and the halfback won't know where to go. Trust me, guys, in game, this totally frustrates opponents. They'll try this pitch 1 or 2 times, and they'll totally get away from it the entire game. So let's even flip it. Let's go to this side. We see in game, we see Coleman going. We quickly switch to our backside linebacker. Worked out that way. I gotta say, it is tough working with 2 controllers here. Okay. Flip this again. Coleman, we're on a backside linebacker. I believe that time I didn't actually run my setup. Good, looking good. We got 2 linebackers free, nothing your opponent can do. I mean, again, this CPU running back really isn't good. If you get someone faster, like Barry Sanders, it's going to be definitely a bit tougher, but still, you have 2 linebackers free, ready to make the play. But it's all about taking that backside linebacker. Let's run again to the left side. Roadblocks there. Right outside linebacker comes in, makes the play. You're scraping with the left outside linebacker, ready to clean anything up. Guys, this is locked down. they're going to run the halfback dive on you. They're going to get 2 or 3 yards. They'll run another pitch. They're going to get stuffed. They won't know what to do. They'll go back to halfback wham. You're going to get a free lick in the middle. They go to inside zone. Again, free lick in the middle. They're going to get really frustrated. They're going to go to their passing plays. You're going to get desperate. Your 91 zone safeties, your 91 zone cornerbacks, they're going to make plays on the ball. Or your user, you're going to make plays on the ball. You're going to get the ball back, and you're going to go score on them. Okay, guys, step 1 of becoming a better Madden player, stop the most popular runs. And you can do that by, again, going over this video, take a few minutes in practice mode, and becoming dominant. Again, guys, please, again, this is my first video. I'm going to be making a ton of more great content. Keep checking back, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.